I was 23 years old when I learned my entire life was a lie. It started with a letter. Not an email, not a WhatsApp message, an actual handwritten letter delivered by a man in a flowing agbada who showed up at my small self-contained apartment in Yaba, Lagos. The kind of apartment where the generator noise from next door shakes your walls and you can hear your neighbors' arguments through the thin blocks. "Miss Adis Okafor," he asked, his eyes scanning my Ankara-stained jeans and the chaos of canvases propped against my peeling walls. "No me," I said, wiping paint thinner on an old cloth. He handed me a cream-colored envelope with a wax seal. Actual wax. "I'm Barrister Emeka Nwosu, attorney for the estate of Chief Vincent Okonkwo. I'm sorry for your loss." The word tilted. Chief Vincent Okonkwo. I knew that name. Everyone in Lagos, everyone in Nigeria knew that name. Oil and real estate magnate. Billionaire. Philanthropist. The man whose face was on billboards from Six to Lekki, whose hotels stretched from Abuja to Port Harcourt. "There must be some mistake," I said. "I don't know any Chief Okonkwo." The lawyer's expression was carefully neutral. "Chief Okonkwo passed away 3 days ago. His will explicitly names you as a beneficiary. I suggest you read the letter." He left before I could ask more questions. My hands shook as I broke the seal. Inside was a single page written in elegant script. "Dear Adis, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I don't expect forgiveness, I don't deserve it. But you deserve the truth. I am your father. 23 years ago, I had an affair with your mother, Ngozi Okafor. When she told me she was pregnant, I was already married with 2 children. I was building an empire, and I was a coward. I gave her money to handle it and walked away. But Ngozi kept you. Raised you. Loved you in ways I never could. I've watched you from a distance your entire life. Every school exhibition at Queen's College, every art show at Terra Culture, every small victory, I was there, hidden in the crowd. I saw you grow into someone far better than I ever was. You have my eyes, Adis. And my mother's talent for art, which you inherited through me. In my will, I've left you your rightful share, 1/3 of everything, equal to your half-siblings, Kemi and Chidi. They don't know about you yet. This will come as a shock to them, and to my wife. I'm a coward even in death, leaving you to face the storm I created. But you're strong. Stronger than all of them. You were always my daughter. I'm sorry I was never your father. Chief Vincent Okonkwo." I read it 3 times. Then I threw up in my small kitchen sink. The Okonkwo family estate was in Banana Island, a sprawling mansion that probably cost more than my entire street in Yaba. I showed up in my only black dress, bought from Baligan Market, feeling like an imposter. Barrister Nwosu met me at the ornate gate. "They are waiting in the study. I should warn you, they are not happy about this. They know about me. I informed them an hour ago. It didn't go well." He led me through halls lined with bronze sculptures and expensive artwork. I recognized some pieces: Ben Nwanwu, Yusuf Grillo, even Njideka Akunili Crosby. Each one worth millions of naira. The study was something out of a Nollywood movie. Floor-to-ceiling shelves filled with leather-bound books, plush chairs, air conditioning so cold I shivered. And sitting in those chairs were the people who were about to become my nightmare. Kemi Okonkwo was 30, light-skinned, and wearing what was definitely designer, probably bought from her last trip to Dubai. Her face was a mask of barely controlled fury, her Brazilian hair extensions flowing past her shoulders. Chidi Okonkwo was 28, dark-skinned like me, with the same sharp jawline I saw in the mirror every morning. He looked more confused than angry, his Rolex catching the light. And then there was Chief Mrs. Beatrice Okonkwo. The widow. 60 years old and regal in her black lace iro and buba, her gaily perfectly tied, coral beads at her neck. She sat like she was receiving visitors at a chieftaincy ceremony. This is Miss Adi's Okafor, Barrister Nwosu said. Okonkwo, I corrected, surprising myself. Adi's Okonkwo. Kemi stood up so fast her gold jewelry rattled. Tufiokwo. This is madness. Daddy would never. Sit down, Kemi. Chief Mrs. Beatrice's voice was soft but absolute. Kemi sat. Let the barrister read the will. Barrister Nwosu cleared his throat and began. The legal jargon was dense, but the summary was simple. 1/3 of everything to Kemi. 1/3 to Chidi. 1/3 to me. The estate was valued at 630 billion naira, roughly $1.4 billion. I was going to inherit 210 billion naira. I thought I might faint. This is fraud, Kemi hissed, switching to English. She's obviously a 419 woman. We'll contest this. You can try, Barrister Nwosu said. But Chief Okonkwo was very thorough. DNA tests have been conducted using samples from Miss Adi's and from Chief's medical records at Reddington Hospital. The results are conclusive. Adi's is Chief Vincent Okonkwo's biological daughter. Chidi was staring at me. You look like him, he said quietly in Igbo. Around the eyes. This changes nothing, Chief Mrs. Beatrice said, standing with the grace of old Lagos money. Kemi is right, we will contest this. No judge will allow some street artists from Yaba to waltz in and steal my children's inheritance. I'm not stealing anything, I said, finding my voice and switching to Igbo. I didn't ask for this. I didn't even know he existed until 3 days ago. Convenient timing, Kemi sneered in English, her British accent sharpening. The will is ironclad, Barrister Nwosu interjected. Chief Okonkwo anticipated resistance. That's why he included this clause. He pulled out another document. If any beneficiary contests the will, they forfeit their entire inheritance. It will be distributed equally among the remaining beneficiaries who don't contest. Silence. You're blackmailing us, Kemi breathed. No, I said. He's protecting me. From you. Over the next week, I learned what it meant to be an Okonkwo. Kemi launched a media campaign, leaking the story to Linda Ekeji's blog, Instablog Ninja, and every gossip outlet she could find. Billionaire Chief's secret baby mama picking surfaces still claim Okonkwo fortune, screamed the headlines. My face was everywhere, bloggers camping outside my apartment, random people shouting questions every time I entered the damfo. My mother called, crying. Adi's, Ndu. I'm so sorry. I should have told you. He paid me to keep quiet, and I thought I was protecting you. It's okay, Mama, I said, though nothing was okay. Chidi reached out through Barrister Nwosu, he wanted to meet. Alone. We met at a small restaurant in Ikoyi, far from the Banana Island drama. I believe you, he said as soon as he sat down, ordering Chapman for both of us. That you didn't know. Thank you. Kemi is trying to find a way around the will. She's talking to lawyers day and night. But Mama. He paused. Mama is smarter. She's not contesting. She's planning something else. Like what? I don't know yet. But be careful. My mother doesn't lose. She didn't become Chief Mrs. Okonkwo by being soft. He wasn't wrong. 2 days later, I received an invitation to dinner at the Okonkwo estate. From Chief Mrs. Beatrice herself. Against Barrister Nwosu's advice, I went. Chief Mrs. Beatrice greeted me at the door personally, all gracious smiles, her wrapper and blouse immaculate. Adi's. Thank you for coming. Please, let's talk in Vincent's study. The study was even more intimidating than before. His desk was massive, carved wood, covered in photographs, Kemi's wedding to the Igbo-British doctor, Chidi's graduation from LSE, family trips to London and Dubai. No pictures of me, of course. I want to apologize, Chief Mrs. Beatrice said, pouring 2 glasses of expensive red wine, probably something imported. Kemi can be protective. But I've had time to think, and you're right. You didn't ask for any of this. Vincent's choices aren't your fault. I didn't trust this sudden warmth, but I took the wine. I have a proposition for you, she continued, her Igbo accent refined from decades among Lagos elite. You're an artist. You live simply. I suspect 210 billion naira is more money than you know what to do with. I'll figure it out. I'm sure you will. But consider this, I'll buy out your inheritance. 75 billion naira, cash, transferred to your account immediately. You sign away your claim to the Okonkwo estate, and you're free. No media walla, no family drama, no Kemi trying to destroy you. You can go back to your life with more money than you ever dreamed of. 75 billion naira. It was less than a third of what I was owed, but it was still an unfathomable fortune. And if I say no? Chief Mrs. Beatrice's smile didn't reach her eyes. Then we go to war, Addis. And I promise you, the Okonkwo family has resources you can't imagine. Lawyers, police connections, media influence. We will dig into every corner of your life. Your mother's life. We'll find something, we always do. Even if we don't win in court, we'll make your life so miserable you'll wish you'd taken the money. There it was. The threat beneath the polish. I set down my wine glass. You know what's funny? My whole life, Mama and I hustled. She sold akara in the morning, cleaned houses in the afternoon. I hawked pure water after school to pay for art supplies. I never asked for handouts, never expected anything from anyone. Admirable, Chief Mrs. Beatrice said coolly. And now you're sitting here, in your mansion built on my father's money he earned, yes, but also money that should have supported me my entire childhood, and you're trying to cheat me out of what's rightfully mine. It's a generous offer. It's hush money. Just like what he paid my mother 23 years ago. I stood up. I'm not my mother. And I'm not going anywhere. Chief Mrs. Beatrice's mask cracked, just for a second. You're making a mistake. Probably. But it's my mistake to make. I walked out, my heart pounding, calling an Uber because I didn't trust their drivers. The attack started immediately. The blogs ran stories about my mother, calling her a gold digger, and Ashowo, saying she'd just chief with Kamita. They dug up her village records, implying she'd trapped Vincent deliberately with juju. Someone leaked my JAM scores, my school records, even my medical history from when I had malaria at 19. I wanted to quit. To take the money and run. But then Chidi called again. I found something, he said. Can you come to the estate? Mama and Kemi are at the club in Ikoyi. I drove out that night in my old Corolla. Chidi met me at the door, looking shaken. I've been going through Daddy's files. The ones he kept locked in his private office. Look at this. He handed me a folder. Inside were bank statements, legal documents, and photographs. Payments to my mother, not just once, but monthly, for 23 years. Every single month, without fail. He was supporting you, Chidi said. He just did it secretly. Mama didn't know. But that wasn't all. There were letters. Dozens of them. From Vincent to my mother, asking about me. Photos he'd collected, me at 6, holding my first painting. Me at 12, winning a competition. Me at 18, with my JAM result. He'd been watching. Caring. In his broken, cowardly way. And then I found the other document. What is this? I asked. Chidi's face was grim. A prenup. Between Daddy and Mama. If she ever cheated or brought disgrace to the family name, she'd get nothing in a divorce. Daddy's lawyer drew it up before they married. So, Look at the date on this. He handed me another paper, a private investigator's report from 15 years ago. Chief Mrs. Beatrice had had an affair with Daddy's business partner, another chief. Vincent had known. He'd had proof. But he'd never used it. Why wouldn't he divorce her? I asked. Because of us, Chidi said quietly. Kemi and me. He didn't want to destroy our family. So he buried it. Very Nigerian of him, actually. But that means, if this comes out, Mama loses everything. The widow's share, her title as Chief Mrs., her place in society, all of it. That's why she's so desperate to get rid of you. You're not just a threat to the money. You're a reminder of Daddy's secrets. And if you dig deep enough, you might expose hers. I looked at the evidence in my hands. This was it. The ammunition I needed. I called for a family meeting. Barrister Russo was there, along with Kemi, Chidi, and Chief Mrs. Beatrice. I wanted you all to know, I said, standing at the head of Vincent's desk. I'm not contesting my place in the will. I'm claiming my full inheritance. Kemi scoffed. We'll bury you in court. My husband knows every judge in Lagos. Maybe. But first, I think Chief Mrs. should explain this. I slid the PI report across the desk. Chief Mrs. Beatrice's face went ashen beneath her makeup. What is that? Kemi demanded, grabbing it. As she read, her expression changed from confusion to horror. Mama. Chinik. Is this true? You cheated on Daddy. Kemi, it was 15 years ago, it didn't mean. You've been acting like she's the devil. Kemi pointed at me, her voice rising. Like she's the one who destroyed this family. But it was you. It's more complicated than. No, it's not. Kemi's voice broke, tears ruining her makeup. Daddy knew. He knew, and he stayed with you anyway. And you repaid him by trying to cheat his daughter out of her inheritance. Chief Mrs. Beatrice stood, composing herself with visible effort, adjusting her wrapper. Fine. You want your money, Addis. Take it. But don't expect to be part of this family. You'll always be the outsider. The reminder of Vincent's shame. I don't want to be part of this family, I said quietly. I just want what's mine. What he wanted me to have. Chidi spoke up. She's our sister, Mama. Whether you like it or not. We're Igbo, family is family. Chief Mrs. Beatrice looked between her children, realizing she'd lost. Barrister Nwosu, I said. Please proceed with the distribution as outlined in the will. Of course, Miss Okonkwo. 6 months later. The money hit my account on a Tuesday. 210,426,847,392.17 Nigerian nairas. I stared at the number on my phone until it stopped looking real. The first thing I did was buy my mother a house. Not a mansion in Banana Island, she didn't want that. A comfortable duplex in Lekki Phase 1 with a garden where she could grow vegetables and a generator that actually worked. The second thing I did was set up a foundation. The Chief Vincent Okonkwo Foundation for Young Artists, full scholarships for kids from low-income families across Nigeria who wanted to study art. Kids like I used to be, from Ajigana to Kano to Calabar. The third thing I did was nothing dramatic. I moved to a better apartment in Lekki, still modest by billionaire standards. Kept painting. Kept living my life. Started showing my work in galleries that used to ignore me. Kemi eventually came around. She apologized, stiffly, awkwardly, over jollof rice at our favorite Lagos restaurant, and admitted that maybe I wasn't the villain in this story. We'd never be close, but we were civil. We even took a photo together that she posted on Instagram. Chidi became a real brother. He'd send me memes on WhatsApp, invite me to family Owambi parties, ask about my art. He was the family I'd never expected to find. He even started calling me Sister Ada. Chief Mrs. Beatrice. She took her third, maintained her position in legal society, and avoided me at all cost. I was fine with that. We nodded at each other at the annual Okonkwo family Thanksgiving service. Sometimes I'd look at Vincent's letter, still kept in my desk drawer. You were always my daughter. I'm sorry I was never your father. He was right. He was never my father, not in the ways that mattered. But in death, he'd given me something he couldn't give me in life, a choice. A chance. A future. And I was going to make damn sure I didn't waste it. I was Adi's Okonkwo, secret daughter, rightful heir, and survivor. And this was just the beginning.